surplus. So wait, he uses some of it for making the poultry
The
feeds.
poultry feeds.
He sells poultry feeds as well
He
as a
sells poultry
company.
feeds.
Mm-hmm.
He uses some of the crops he grows, the food.
So what
to
crops are
feed
those that he grows?
Bananas, he talked about bananas, potatoes, corn, to mention but a lot, because remember I told you the farm covers about 400 hectares of land.
Okay.
That's quite big. And remember, it's not government funded, it's his money.
Maybe we should mention a bit of, he has a bit of the grace of grants, but why we shouldn't limit that is because anyone can actually apply for a grant. Just position yourself to win it. So he put in the effort to win the grant. Something special about Masaba's journey is he started all the way from zero, where he rented his father's land.
Imagine renting your father's land. Now, someone might say, the father
was so hard on him, what. But we have seen a lot of people being given opportunities by their parents and they just blow them out of the window. So I feel like this was one of the ways for the father to make sure he is not losing out. You give someone your land for 3 years and they misuse it for what? But if you put in value for your money, then you're not willing to just blow it out of waste.
Exactly. By the way, I think it's always better, I was telling these people that it's better to go work, earn that capital, and then start. Because the money you worked for in vain, you can't put it to waste.
That's true.
You will definitely work hard in order to earn more profits from it instead of putting it to waste.
Exactly. More about Dr. Masaba. Dr. Masaba he's what, 32 years old?
Yeah, 32 years old.
And he started when he was about 20, 25, 26. And then,
because I remember he was just from the medical school.
Yeah.
He worked, I think, for just months.
Yeah. There's an inspirational picture he once posted on his Twitter, and it was this year where he posted he was taking a bunch of eggs to the market, but he was taking them with a Hilux. Now a Hilux is about 280 million Ugandan shillings. Then side by side he posted a picture and he said 3 years ago, actually he said 3.5 years ago, he was taking his first bunch of eggs to the farm and he was using a Maniga Chifuba bicycle. So you see the difference between 3.5 years from using a bicycle to take your eggs, your first batch, to now driving a Hilux. If that's not inspiring to anyone, to me, I'm telling you, in the next 6 months, I think you should be hearing Miracle and his animals very soon.
And by the way, to those who think that studying, when you study, you've finished, you've got the money, you've got everything. I just want to tell you, according to Daniel Masawa's story,
yeah,
I think when you put all your energy to what you studied and then forget others, you might even work for 200 years. That's if God has helped you and you reach there.
Indeed.
Meaning you will die minus
achieving anything at all. Because we have seen the work life of Uganda it's invested with a lot of debt. You're always money loans. You never get to reach the breathing space of enjoying your life. Because we see Dr. Masaba having one inspirational thing as well for content creators. He has one of the biggest YouTube channels in Uganda as well. Now that's crazy. Did you know that, Ruth? I don't know if you knew that.
Sure.
Yes. His YouTube channel has over 300,000 subscribers. 300,000 subscribers.
Now see, he's not only earning money from agriculture, but also the social media platform.
Yeah, because there's a time he once showed how much he had made in a month, and it was $5,000. In Uganda, that's like 25 to 40 million Uganda shillings, guys.
Guess what? Just trying to look into his pockets and estimating the money he earns.
Eggs. He says they make like 60,000 eggs per day. Per day, guys.
Chicks, because he has a hatchery.
Yeah, and then those incubators and all. The feeds. And then on his farm, he doesn't just have chicken alone. He now has rabbits. He has
other animals, but since we are just concentrating on poultry, since it's the easiest.
And then he does the whole thingy of training people, because he trains people. Guys.
That's also money. Social media.
Then the chicken manure. Guys.
The manure, social media. And now he's also earning international money.
Exactly, and then like he's called to speak, because you can't talk about poultry in Uganda and not say Dr. Masaba. Dr. Masaba, wherever you are, big up. As the Youth Talk Show would love a tour at your place, would love a tour at your farm. We're willing to sponsor our transportation there. Just host us. We'd love to give our viewers an on-field knowledge of this. For those still following in, you can follow us on 0776626398. We are always live on TikTok, always live on Facebook, YouTube at Isaiah Miracle and Isaiah Miracle 15 and The Garden Plug. Following by with Ruthie.
Of course, on all my social media platforms, it's the Ruthie. But then before we continue with Dr. Daniel Masawa's story, let's first take a short musical break and then come back.
Thank you for tuning in. Don't touch that. Most people would love to say, okay, me, I'm young, I'm doing this and this, but nowadays we're seeing kids out there on social media, they are pushing themselves out. You find a 19-year-old buying their houses, you find 17-year-old buying their houses, and then what limit to that? You find a 35-year-old going back to school. So there's no limit about what. The only limit is your mind. The only limit is your mind. There is a song, actually it was a phrase that was once said, yeah, and maybe Ruth, you will help me, give me your thoughts about it. The phrase, and I usually use it in my mind every time I feel something is hard. It said, what would you do? Yeah? What would you do?
What would I do?
If you knew you wouldn't fail?
What would I do if I knew I wouldn't fail?
Yeah, you couldn't fail.
Meaning, what's the thing I would do with all my energy?
Not even with all your energy. What would you do if you knew you couldn't fail?
Since I'm in the medical field, of course I will run to the medical field, but then I will run to something bigger.
Neuro?
Yeah, neuro.
So are you telling the listeners that the reason you're not going to neuro is because you're like,
what if I fail?
What if I fail? That's a good reflection for anyone listening in. 6 years, man.
Now, Miracle, what would you do?
What would I do if I knew I would fail? Surprisingly for everyone listening in, I am exactly doing what I knew I would do if I couldn't fail. I am a law student right now, but you see me in radio. I am currently running Miracle Capital. Miracle Capital is a money management capital. We trade forex for people privately. You do private contracts. I trade my own money as well, and I have limits to who I take the money for, so I don't take for everyone money. Yeah, we take money for everyone. Sorry about that. And that's something I would do if I wouldn't fail. So the fact that I left school and I came back just for this, the fact that most people do not want to give their all to Christ because they're like, what if it doesn't work out? But because I know Christ won't fail, it's why I serve him. So that's something I knew I would do if I wouldn't fail.
Okay, it's 10 minutes to 1 and